Hey everyone, John here, staff software engineer with 10 plus years of experience. I'm the lead maintainer of Latterly.io, totally open source website that helps you learn to code or land your first or next programming role. And today we are working on a bug fix. By the way, shout out to Kik. This is going to be the first stream over to Kik. So drop a comment in the chat. Hopefully I'll be able to see it. And if I'm not able to see it, hop over to YouTube and let me know that it's not working. Okay. So we have bug 324 reported by a user. I won't drop their name, but thank you so much for the high priority bug report. And I will start by creating a feature branch. Basically, the problem is we send the user to this route, and it's a 404 route. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and we can test this, it's the substring auth, which is extraneous. So let me just delete the substring. And there I no longer observed the 404. Now I got redirected because my token was empty. This is not a valid token. It's just like a sample URL. But it verified the claim that dropping the auth substring resolves the 404. When I step through this myself, and I'll step through this with my own email address and password reset, I will go beyond verifying the absence of the 404. I will verify the positive efficacy of the pass reset. But I still think that gives us enough confidence to move forward with a potential fix. Okay, so I got this GitHub issue number 324, copy, going over to my VS Code, bam. Multi-root setup, so this is a different project. I'll start by closing those files, collapsing the multi-root, and opening Latterly 3. This is the project in question. I will traverse my terminal. I'll actually open a new terminal. So let me rename this one Aria's Tale. Aria's Tale, by the way, open source game, basically. So check out the GitHub if you're interested in that. Here I'm in my workspace. I can ls and view all of my repos. I'll cd into Latterly tab 3. This is a mono repo, so there's going to be multiple top-level folders. Latterly.io is the TRPC new site. The new site is not yet deployed. The legacy site, which is deployed, is the Blitz app. So cd tab Blitz. Okay. At this point, I will git branch, and I can see that I'm not on main. So I'm going to git fetch origin main. I'm going to git checkout main, git reset --hard origin main. I'll push to confirm I'm in sync. It should say everything is up to date. Now I will make my new feature branch now that I'm on the tip of the tree of the main branch. Hi.
What?
Are you hungry?
No.
Oh, man. I'm hungry. TikTok, what's up? If you're thinking the video is interesting so far, I hope you'll throw some likes on the video. That helps the algorithm send it around. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so we're making a feature branch, git checkout-b. I'll paste the prefix 324 for my GitHub issue, and then I'll provide a concise kebab case string describing the issue, and this is going to be fix pass reset. Fix pass reset. Git branch to confirm the checkout. All right, here we are. So React uses file-based routing. And so if I want to drop that substring auth, I need to understand the file mapping. So here's the next application that I'm using. This is the Blitz app. Okay, so we have the Blitz app folder where the terminal is, and there's the Blitz folder on the left. And so in the next JS framework, where's that auth substring coming from? Well, it's going to be under source. And then it could be app or pages. It could be either one. And this is part of the bug exposure vector of the current state of the code. So typically you would use the pages directory or the app directory. You would pick one. But because Latterly was spawned into an older revision of the next framework, the only existing top-level directory under source at that time was pages. So we used pages. And then AppRouter came out. And so the migration is in progress. And that's why we have both, which is wonky. Okay. And so we can see how a path deviation or a path bug can pop up in this situation. Robo Sasquatch, what's up, brother? What are you building? So we're working on laterally.io. Thanks for the question. So this is an open source website, and we are trying to fix a bug. The bug we're trying to fix is password reset. Cool. So I'll start by looking in the older place, and I'm going to suspect that that's not the issue, but let's just go ahead and confirm. So I suspect if the issue arose out of migration, then we will find the problem in the app router. Do you see the logic that I'm going through that kind of identifies the candidate problem? And so instead of jumping to where I think the issue is, I'm actually going to retrace. So we'll be building confidence as we go. I'm going to retrace. So in the causal linkage, it's like we did this migration and the issue will be over here. But even before I confirm the issue is over here, I can already start building confidence by confirming the file is not in the legacy location. So do you see the logical steps that we can take to build confidence? As opposed to if we just jumped over here and the thing's not there, it's like, where do we go from here? So I guess it would work either way, but I prefer this approach. All right, so we go pages, API, and then I have this, pages API, and then I have this blitz route, okay? There's nothing obviously using the substring auth here, okay? So there is a non-obvious way that this router might be catching the auth substring. So I'll leave this file open, but that would be weird. This seems to confirm, Swat, thank you for the follow. Throw some likes on the video if you think it's interesting, by the way. This seems to confirm that we did migrate the files out of this router. That's what this seems to confirm. Spencer, thank you so much. Okay. And so now let's go over to, there's auth and app. These are both weird. So auth only contains components. This is still weird. This is still weird. I expect auth over here, components here. Yeah. And then there's core components. So the existence of this auth directory at this level is weird. And so I'm going to move it. Even though it's not the root cause of the present issue, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and so I plan to move it under this auth components folder. So here's a sign up form, and here's another sign up form. Okay. Is it just a duplicate component? So we have two sign up forms. All right, so I'm going to Command X Z. I like to go for the X over the C because I get a visual feedback when it's dropped off the screen. Marsh says, is this JavaScript? This is TSX. You can see the file extension on the breadcrumb right here. So this is React with TypeScript. So it is TypeScript. You can see here I have a type, for example, the sign up form type. But TypeScript is JavaScript with types. So if you're familiar with JavaScript, by all means, use that mental model. Now, this is going to look weird to you if you've never seen JSX before. So having a div inside of your JavaScript file is basically what JSX allows us to do. And so this is potentially going to break your brain if you've never seen it before, but basically I can have a function that returns markup, and markup being a generic term which includes HTML and other things like it. So this will eventually compile a physical page, which is written in HTML, but it's technically JavaScript here. Mr. Wolf says TSX versus JSX. The only difference is whether it's JavaScript or TypeScript. Jim Bob says dope. Thank you, Jim Bob. Thanks for being here. Cool. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, if you're a recent joiner, you can go link in the bio, join the YouTube, and you'll be able to see the screen better. Okay, so here on my clipboard, I have this sign up form. I'm going to Command Shift F, Command V, enter, and look for all usages of the substring sign up form. And here I can see some other hits from other projects. So I'm going to specify .tsx to reduce my hit count. Here I can see sign up form header and some other things that I'm not expecting. So I'm going to look for an angle bracket here. And now I have a whole lot fewer hits. These are places that are actually using a sign up form. Marsh says, does this make it so you don't need to link separate files like to a central HTML file? That is one thing that it does. Yes, it does a whole lot more than that, but that's one thing that it does. Dallas on YouTube, welcome, welcome. Good to have you over here. Okay, and so here I see sign up form header, header. I don't care about those cases. Here are 3 cases that I'm interested in. And if I look on the light text, it might be hard for you to see, but only one of these is in the Blitz app. So this is the only case in the Blitz app. So now I have confidence that there is a unique usage of the sign up form. If there's a unique usage, then I shouldn't need 2 source locations. So the question is, which source location is used here? And I can see it's source auth components sign up form. Source auth components sign up form. Okay, so it's not using my parender. Parender being this directory which is written using parenthetical syntax. This is a parender. And so what I want to try to do now, I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll guess and check. So let me npm run dev. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do now is change the import location. Okay, so sign up form, we're going to say from source, and here I'm getting rid of auth. I'm going to say source app, the parender for auth, components, and this sign up form, which is a different sign up form. Okay, now I can take the legacy one and cut it. This will nuke the file, which will scream. So a scream pattern is when you implement a code solution that is intended to generate a loud error if it is invalid. So by cutting the content of this file, if anyone is using it, my compiler would blow up. But you see my compiler says ready with a green check. That confirms that no one else is using this file. So I'm ready to delete this 2-level directory and the file containing it. So I'm going to delete all that. And we're basically pursuing the theory that this is a duplicate component. Thank you so much for the likes. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to take an additional step. I'm going to command click, and this is the parender signup form. I'm going to open my source control. Okay, and I'm going to paste over this file and save so that I can view the git diff. Okay, so I'm staging the 2 changes that I'm happy about so far, and I'm not staging the current change because I want to view what is this git diff. Okay, so it's not a pure duplicate. So one possibility is that it may have been a pure duplicate, and when I paste, there's no git diff. Then I can go ahead and confidently push my deletion because there will be no code change after compilation if the code is equivalent and the import path was the only change. But here we see the code is not equivalent. There's more than that. There's more than that. Okay, so now I need to step line by line, maybe a couple dozen lines. I need to step line by line and see what's going on. So we're using the next link. That's a good thing. We're pulling a sign up mutation from the parender, which also looks like a good thing. This is app directory migration logic. Okay, we have a sign up schema in the parender. This is all looking good. As opposed to the previous case, which would have used I'm kind of surprised that would have worked at all. So previously, it would have stepped up in the auth dir and looked for a sibling mutation, but that folder does not exist. So it seems to me that the prior approach was bugged. Seems to me that the prior approach was bugged. Cool. So let's continue on. I'm happy with these import changes. The type is the same. Here I'm seeing some changes on the div, basically style changes. What's the impact of these? I don't know. So let's go look at it. I'm going to right click, close others, and we'll focus here and we will test looking at it, reverting the code, looking again, and viewing the visual difference. Okay, so this is the sign up form, right? So here I am. This is laterally. I want to go to localhost. Here's the localhost. Roel from TikTok says, hello. What's up, Roel? Thank you for being here. Parab on LinkedIn. What tech did you use to make this? So the stack for laterally.io, it's entirely open source, and you can check the GitHub at the bottom. And you can look into the package JSON file. But some of the things that we're using here, we're using Prisma for the ORM. We're using Next.js, so that would include React. We're using Tailwind. We're using Vercel to deploy, Supabase for the database as a service. This is going to include Postgres. Those are some of the key pillars of the tool set that we're using here, as well as the higher order framework, Blitz.js. Okay, so here's my, nope, that's another laterally. Here's my local host over here. Thanita, thank you so much for the likes. So here, I want to go and see the sign up form. That will be on the create account page. We go ahead and open, ooh. That was unexpected. What happened? Let me go ahead and open up DevTools just while I browse around my localhost. So I click create account. Okay, I don't know. It tossed me out of the website for some reason, but now I'm back. Already signed up, log in here. So this link is cool, but otherwise this view looks undesirable to me. Do you see the nav, the top nav here, which includes leaderboard, blog, community, and so on? I prefer this top nav. And so it's absent in this view, isn't it? And look at the hover. The hover has pink text, which is inconsistent with the rest of the website style. Okay, so that would be caused by not using a component called the laterally page wrapper. So that's actually external to this form. Yeah, so we can see the layout uses this create account. It doesn't use the page wrapper. So it's a bit of a different concern. So let's put a pin in that, but maybe that's an additional change that we can make. Although we don't want too many unrelated changes to the main point of the branch. The point of this feature branch is to fix password reset, right? So I'm looking at these class names. These are Tailwind class names. I'm noticing full width, max WD, rounded with some padding. So you can see the corners. It's actually difficult to see, isn't it? If I zoom in, can you see better? It's really subtle, but these corners are rounded, okay? So that will be one of the style differences. And so let me revert and check the look and feel. I have a bias. So my bias is that rounding the corners looks good. And it's consistent with the look and feel of the broader website. Okay, so this form seems totally inferior to me. So not only is the style lower quality here, but additionally, it's lacking the feature under the create account button to say, if you've already created an account, you can go log in right now. So on all measures, I seem to prefer this state of the code. Does that make sense? Are we all agreed on what's going on? It also looks like this one has some better error handling. So on all, like for at least 3 different reasons, pretty serious reasons, I'm preferring this form. Limbo on TikTok says, yo, what's up, Limbo? Thanks for being here. If you're liking the video so far, I hope you'll throw some likes on it. Consider following the page. Consider sharing the stream with a friend who may be interested in learning to code. By the way, the stream will be saved and persisted on YouTube. So you can go to my bio, check out the Laterally YouTube, and view live coding streams. If you need to drop, that's cool. You can come back and see what we do later. If you missed the earlier portion of the stream, you'll be able to go back and review what's led up till now. And you can send it to your friends. If you're like, hey, this stream is great, but my friend's not available, send them the link later. Limbo says, could you review my site for me by chance? Sure. So drop over to the Discord, latterly.io Discord. You go to the community tab. There it is. Okay. If you drop the link to your site on the Latterly Discord, I'll check it out. Okay. And so this looks better. Don't we all agree? So let me go ahead and push this change. So what I'm going to say here is I'm going to say fix use preferred sign up form. Okay. Here I need to publish the branch, and I will publish it to the origin upstream. Now I'm going to go to GitHub, create a pull request. And I will draft this pull request, and I'll say it closes fix the past reset bug. So we'll draft that. Even though the pull request is not ready to merge right now, I want to go ahead and draft so that the Vercel build triggers. And every commit, I can do a small commit and confirm that these commits do not break the static Vercel build. Okay, cool. That's in progress. That'll take a minute. Now let's proceed. So what do I want to proceed to do is pursue, and notice here that the signup URL is proper with the absence of an auth substring. Why is it absent the auth substring? That is the benefit of the parender. The parender is invisible to the end user. It lets us use directories for our code organization without forcing directories into the URL. So Next.js is going to use file-based routing, but when you use the parens, it exempts it from the route. So that's the benefit here. So somewhere I am sending a URL. So what we have here, we can confirm forgot password is under the parender. Okay, so I can just confirm this now. How's the spelling? Forgot, it's just forgot dash password. Forgot dash password. Cool. Is it going to force redirect me or let me live? This will attempt to access. Yeah, okay. And so I get here, which is expected. And it does not include the auth substring. So I do not need to change the location of the forgot password page, the code of the page. Does that make sense? The code of the page is in the right spot. So the problem is not where the page is located. The problem must be with the URL that gets sent to the user email when I submit this bad boy. And now we immediately know where to go look. So I need to go find this form, basically. So here I am on the page, and this page will include the form. And here's the form. And this form will trigger this mutation. So let me command click, brings me up to this use mutation block. This is a Blitz.js RPC mutation, which is very similar to TanStack, although it's a little bit different. And so I'm going to pause and take a related question right here. So King M189 asks, how much do you abstract the code? Thank you so much for the question. I love this. Okay, there's two answers basically. One, I abstract as little as possible. I abstract as little as possible. We start with a concrete implementation and we abstract when we feel a pain point. Do not abstract if you're just abstracting because you can, that's bad. Don't abstract because you can. If you're abstracting because you're thinking of potential reusability cases, which may or may not obtain right now, there's a principle called YAGNI. Don't do it. Abstract when you need to. Don't abstract eagerly. So don't imagine use cases that are like long tail, we might do this in 5 years. Do not support that. Abstract on your felt pain point right now, okay? That's the first thing I do, is I abstract as little as possible. And what does as little as possible mean? It means enough to solve my current felt pain points. What's the second way that I abstract? The second way that I abstract is when it's encouraged or required by the stack that I'm using. So here you see I have an encapsulated mutation. The reason that I did that in this case is because it's required / encouraged / idiomatic by the Blitz.js framework, okay? So basically there's one page here and we're stepping into one abstraction. And the reason we're stepping into this abstraction is because my framework said so. But really the whole chain of abstraction in this chain of logic that we're debugging is really only a two-step, it's really only 2 files, which is not very much abstraction. That's really nice. It means there's really only 2 things, a page and a mutation. There's really only 2 things that we need to incorporate into our mental models to understand the way to troubleshoot this bad boy. And that's not bad if you ask me. I mean, chat, what do you think? But I think that's like, I'm not in an abstraction hell. There's like 2 things. It's not bad. That's my take. What do you think? King M says, makes sense. Thank you so much. Okay, so the fix is going to be here. Let me do a quick pause because another user, this is the Liam, who asked if I can look at their site. I'm going to quickly check this out. I'm going to copy this off screen because sometimes I get trolled and it's like a dirty site or whatever. So I'm going to copy this off screen, make sure it's not crazy. And when I confirm that, I'll bring it on screen. So I'm copying the message link. Smooth Latino, thank you for the follow. Thanks for being here, brother. Yeah, this looks cool. Finish tasks 10 times faster. This looks cool. I don't see anything problematic. It's a site to help people with neurodivergence. That's fucking awesome, dude. My son was just diagnosed with ADHD. Okay, so let me grab this and I will bring it on screen. Bless you for making this thing, man. I hope it works. What is CEO of coding jobs? It's just a joke. I should probably change it. On TikTok, a bunch of influencers say their tagline is like CEO of whatever, like CEO of cookies or CEO of math. But I guess that trend has kind of died out and now it's just confusing. So CEO of coding jobs, the point of that is just to say that the content on my account is heavily focused around helping individuals get a coding job. That's the point there. Does that make sense? I don't actually have a company where I'm CEO. It's just like a meme. Okay, this is what I work on is open source. So anyway, I do have a job, but I'm not CEO. I'm a staff engineer. And the open source stuff is like a side gig. Does that make sense? Thanks for the question, Options Trader. Cool name. We love to trade options. Okay, so Mind Bloom app. What am I doing here? What am I doing here, brother? It's just a general review. Okay, let's do a general review. First impressions. Love the pink aesthetic. It's not overbearing. It's not like a bright neon pink like my website has. You see that bright neon pink on the back to home? That's supposed to pop. The idea there is just like that it should pop so you know it's clickable, but I think it's like way too much. So in contrast to mine, yours is more subtle. It's nice. There's an element of tech forward sophistication because you have this gradient. You got the yellow pop on the 10x faster that draws the eye. And so I'm immediately drawn to go, oh, 10x faster. Like this is like proven, like there's evidence here, right? Like this is going to technically help me. It does beg the question, 10x faster what? Yeah, and it goes with proven. 10x faster, proven, evidence-based. We're going to level up, and then I trigger my normal left to right reading as an English reader, right? So 10x proven, this is awesome. 10x proven what? Level up your focus. So the design of the readability of the main text here is top notch. Also, the font selected, it's a sans serif, very highly readable. The spacing is good on the text. Now I'm considering the top nav. It looks visually nice. The hover is either too subtle or not there at all. Is it, am I actually getting a hover effect at all? It looks like it's slightly changing, bro, but it's not much. Yeah, so we have an anchor, we have an href, okay? It's a div, it's not a nav. So in terms of semantic HTML, you could turn this into a nav tag. You could consider throwing this into a UL for accessibility. So these links, it's really an unordered list of links. Yeah, those are a couple things that come to mind. You could, I mean, you could skip it or you could do it. You could consider doing like an underline here, either on hover or just all the time, or a higher contrast color change on hover. That's optional though. We do have the cursor change, which indicates that it's a link. So there's a visual cue that it's a link. Let me go on mobile. So the mobile's terrible, right? A mobile user will not get the benefit of the cursor indication because it's just tap. It's just tap. Okay, so it's not mobile first. That's going to be a weak point of the site. Even on an iPad, it's not looking great on an iPad. Okay, so mobile friendly, not really there. But on a desktop, it's looking really good. I would probably turn this top left into a return to home link. So let me click to about. And then I'm noticing a flash of unstyled content. When I click about, watch the mind bloom in the upper left. Well, now it's loaded, so it's not going to happen. Okay. Let me see if I can clear cache and hard reload to do this again. Mind bloom dash beta in the site title. I don't know if you want the beta. If you do, great. But if you don't, then it shouldn't be there. Okay, so let's watch the Mind Bloom logo in the upper left. Let's see if we get a flash of unstyled content. Yeah, did you see that? So you get a flash of unstyled content there. And then now that I'm on the about, I would turn this into a return to home button. So I would wrap that in an anchor. Love the login hover effect. That looks great. Sign up looks great. Contrast here is really nice. Everything's readable. You could consider an optional dark mode. I don't like the bullets. I don't like the style of the bullets. These text, I would prefer like a left justified or a left aligned. Even if you don't float it all the way over to the left, it could be like left aligned with the alignment being 50% in or something like that. And I think there is design research to show that when it's like correctly aligned for left to right readers, it's like a easier readability thing. Not a big deal, but I would do it on all of these paragraphs. So like this paragraph would be left aligned. I think hopefully I'm practicing what I preach. Hopefully in laterally you can see, yeah. So you can see it's left aligned, it's left aligned. That's basically all I got. That's everything I got for you, bro. I hope that was a useful site review. Let's check the blog. Okay, we're not liking the hanging out view in the white stuff. I guess good thing that I continued on. What about this contact? Okay. Assuming that it works, it seems fine. Pricing, I like the line through. I don't like this. I don't like this. I do like the idea of pay what you can. I would have the consistent capitalization, pay what you can, all caps. But I still want to give the individual an intelligent default or an anchor. So even if they pay what they can, we are going to give a recommended number and then make it editable. Yeah, I would not have question marks. I would say I don't know, 5 or 10, whatever you want. I would put like a number there and then make it customizable. You could put a 10 with an asterisk on it if you want, and then the asterisk could be like, feel free to adjust, or like, this is our average, or this is our suggested, but you can tweak it. Thanita, yeah, Thanita in the chat echoing the comment that donate should have a suggested amount. 100% agree, sis. Oh, in options trader, I missed a comment. Do you think the job market is going to get worse than it is now? No. Well, for software engineers, the answer is no. I don't know what your role is. If you're an options trader, I don't know. But we are seeing, and I'll show you in LinkedIn jobs, you can verify this yourself. Don't take my word for it. But we're seeing jobs trend up now. And now that the Fed announced interest rate cut, they should continue to do so. So you can look at the NASDAQ, which is a broad tech indicator. Give me the stock, dude. Okay, let's check QQQ. So here's an index on the NASDAQ, and you can see it's going up. This is the day chart. Let's look year to date. You can see it's going up. Okay, so this is a broad index of basically the tech sector of the US economy. So it's a loose correlation to job count. This is not job count, but it correlates to job count. And specifically, hiring will lag an increase in investment. So if I'm a company and I get an investment, I have to hire after that, right? Generally speaking. I mean, in some cases, you'll hire before the money comes in, but that's like, corporations are super averse to doing that. It's like a very weird case. Not impossible. Never say never. Hashtag Justin Bieber. You get the point. It's a lag. Jobs lag investment money. So the investment money is going up, particularly considering the Fed rate cut. Investment money is going to go up. We're going to hire. Tech sector is going to hire. Now, we are going to hire more, even though the jobs have already been going up. So let's see if I can get this index for you. I forget where to look, bro, to be honest with you. It's somewhere here in the LinkedIn jobs. LinkedIn jobs over time. Is it one of these things? I'm going to time box this to 2 more minutes because it's not directly relevant to today's topic. This is just like their kind of like economic analysis, which is cool, but it's not what we're looking for. I don't know. Sorry, can't find it. Somewhere in LinkedIn jobs, it will tell you like month over month, like higher 1%. It's up or down 1% compared to last month. I don't know. I don't know where it is. I'll try to remember where that is. But anyway, I saw it recently and it's been consistently going up. Not like night and day, but it's been like up 1% week over week for software engineering jobs in the US for like 3 weeks. Okay, sorry that I couldn't find it. But isn't that just job postings? Because that wouldn't translate to hiring. They're correlated. You need to think in terms of statistical mental model. The job search is a marketing funnel. Every stage of the marketing funnel has a probabilistic procession to the next stage. So it's not just job postings, bro. People post more jobs because they are actually hiring more. And it's not one-to-one, but they are correlated. Does that make sense? I have 3 years of experience. I'm having a hard time getting anything. Hey, you're in the right place, friend. I mean, join our Discord. Again, laterally.io. Let me pull it back on screen. King says, can I add my website after on the Discord chat? Yeah, absolutely. By all means. Okay. So you come over here, laterally.io, community Discord. And dude, like one of the things we do is help you land a coding job. So networking scripts, how to optimize your resume, like we'll get you through the ATS, we'll get you job prep. The Leak Code Kata is another thing you're going to want to check out. Go to the blog and look for Kata, K-A-T-A. Laterally Leak Code Kata is going to help you do, it's for coding round interviews. So like tree algorithms, graphs, string array manipulation. You're going to crush it. I have a senior level friend who recently told me I'm able to do 3 sum in under 5 minutes because of the laterally kata. Okay. So we'll get you shredding code, man. Thanks for the follow. Okay. So let's wrap up this bug, huh? The bug has been, we've been just like having a good old chat and the bug is still alive. Bugs, we like dead bugs. We like dead bugs, right? So here, what am I doing? I'm trying to reset my pass. So I'll go john@laterally.io. Feel free to email me here. And what do I want to do? Oh, I wanted to look up the mutation, and we already did this. So here's the mutation, and it's going to use the mailer. Okay, so you can look through the code here if you're not sure, but basically I just already know we're using a email API as a service. Okay, and that's called the mailer. So I'm going to command click. We're coming over here. And this is where the problem is. There it is right there. You can see that reset URL is improper. And all we got to do, God bless it. You got to love a quick fix, babe. King says, just put it in the Discord. Hey, King, do you want me to do a review during the stream or do you want me to chat with you later? Let me know. Get back to me in the next 3 minutes. And if you say yes, I'll do it during the stream. Otherwise, I'll catch you later. So this is expected to be the fix. And I'll refresh the get diff. Here it is. Cool. We just deleted that substring. You see? Now, let me verify it. So here I am on localhost. I'm submitting my email. Request submitted. Cool. I have a multi-monitor setup here. I'm going to the other monitor to check my email. Support, here's your password reset. Okay, so I'm clicking it. Let me go ahead and actually just copy it. King says later is fine. All right, bet. I'll do it later then. Oh, it just copied the text. Let me copy link address. Okay, Command AV. And yeah, we see the auth substring is purged. I can go ahead and submit enter. I don't actually want to reset my pass, but I'll submit enter to hopefully show that I don't get a 404. I really don't. Because I'm logged in. Okay, so I logged out. Ooh, this is fun. What's going on here? Cannot convert undefined or null. Nice. We have like a more interesting bug. So what is coerced to undefined or null? I'm clicking this script. We can see it's within this layout file. This is a dirty file. This is an uglified file. So it's gone through the next processing, but you can see it's layout, and then there's a dash, and then there is a string, .js. So this is the layout file post-compilation. Okay, so auth reset password, there's the parinder layout. So I'm going over there. Here's auth. And here we are at reset password, not forgot password. We're at reset password. You see that? This is actually a different page. Check that out. This is a different page. Okay, so now we're over here. I don't even know if we're supposed to be here. Maybe I should be sending people to the forgot password page. Nope, this is the right place. So here we are to reset the password. Thanks for the follow. So here, I mean, the easy thing to do is I can go over to ChatGPT, but let's pause on that. Yeah, here I'm noticing get layout, which I believe is improper in the after. So let me look, forgot password page, export default, forgot password page. This is a Blitz page. I actually think we don't want that in the after either, but one step at a time. Redirect authenticated to. Do we want that? So if you're already logged in, you might want to reset your password even if you're already logged in, right? I feel like I should delete that line, but it's also not the main problem causing the parse issue. The only thing that I see us parsing is the token. So I'm going to guess this is the issue. So if I comment this line, oh yeah, okay, let me not comment it and let me just look here. This is so weird. So if the token string was empty, then it would make sense that it's coerced to an undefined or null, right? But the token string there is not empty. So yeah, I think we're losing a reference to the router query token. So let me go ahead and comment this line, and then that will throw, because we're trying to use the token somewhere, fine. I'll comment let me just delete the whole form. I'll just null it. This is temporary, right? But what I expect that to do, what we're doing here is we're creating a theoretical root cause or a hypothesis or a proposed root cause, and then we're validating that, like a small thin slice validation, not an end-to-end test. And so the thin slice validation here will be, now that I've removed the token, does my parse error go away? And so that would identify the token parsing as the root cause. Does that make sense? Then we can proceed to an actual fix separately. Right now, we're just trying to prove the root cause before we try to solve. Make sense? Mr. Wolf, why not use JWT? The short answer is the Blitz.js higher order framework has out-of-the-box database token support. And so use what you got. That's the short answer. And I'll stick with that. I don't want to get into a JWT debate. JWT tokens unencrypted are less secure than encrypted database tokens. You could encrypt your JWT, but then you need to handle the encryption infrastructure. So it's kind of like more complicated and like, what's the benefit kind of situation. Message port was closed. So I'm actually still getting an error. Forgot password. Oh, this is laterally.io. Let me change over to localhost. So I'm going to copy the reset password and end token. So whenever I reset my password, it sends you to the production one. So we need to massage it for local development. Okay, so I still have the same error. And this is coming out of Blitz auth chunks. Cannot update component hot reload. Blitz outer root. Next router was not mounted. Yep, that's the real issue. Okay. So it's not parsing the token, it's mounting the router. So the fact that I imported use router at all, I'm already bad. Do you see? That's what it's complaining about. It's complaining about the router. Let's see how I've handled this elsewhere. So use client is in both places, so it's not like a use client thing. So here's use mutation. I don't use a router here. I might want to pull ChatGPT for this. So I need to alter the router support. Yeah. Blitz.js has a router compatibility layer. So the app router itself changes. Let me see if I can do one of these. If I can just look for my other calls to use router. So these are all from Aria's tail, which is not using Blitz.js. Okay. Here's Blitz app source app settings page. Ooh, the settings page might have the same bug. Let's go look at the settings page. Did you find a job? Yep. Yeah, I've been working for, I think I just hit my 1 month today. Turn up. And then checklist items. Yo. Oh, this is under pages, so it's going to be okay. This is next navigation. And what is it over here? It's next router. Okay, can I just change it from router to navigation? That would be nice. What stack? What stack? Oh, hey, that looks like it fixed it. Awesome. Just had to change from next router to next navigation, I think. What's your question? What is my stack at my new job? Is that your question? So it's a Rails monolith, and then there are Python things as well. So data science, obviously, all in Python. It's in Google Cloud, GCP. So data engineering is using GCP. And then my stuff, I'm in applied generative AI. And so I'm doing a lot of glue code in Python as well. So a little bit of Ruby, a little bit of Python at the day job today. Cool. This appears to, and now it says set a new password, and that's kind of messed up. Okay, so let's go revert everything. We're going to revert everything and change only the router now. What is the TC? It's not publicly traded, so that the like bonus or stock or whatever is like super speculative. So I actually don't want to disclose the TC because it's guesswork basically. Like I have obviously an estimate that I think it's worth, but could be pretty far off from that. It's multiple six figures. It's remote. I think that's what I'm comfortable disclosing. Let's see, did we get back into an issue? Because the router query token, okay. So query doesn't exist here. Query doesn't exist here. We're going to router. What is it called over here? Is it just, it's not just router token. Okay, this one I will go to GPT with. So I changed from next router to next navigation, and now the query is gone. Let's go see what happened to it. Time to use AI. Whoa, sorry about the caps. Would you say the job hunt is harder now? Compared to when? Like depending on the dates you pick, it's harder than some and easier than others. So today is easier than like 3 months ago, if that makes you feel better. But today and 3 months ago are both a lot harder than 2 years ago. Does that help you at all? So we want to use, okay, so we want to use this stuff now. How many technical interviews did you do at this company or like through my whole job search? So I applied to 133 places. My job search data is open sourced, by the way. So you can check the Laterally repo and it's under the analytical scripts. I did 133 applications, which turned into 12, I think, interviews, first round interviews. And then I ended up getting like 4 offers. Let's see. I don't know the exact number. So the 12 first round interviews, I think more than half of them I got to the final loop. But I forget the exact number. It's all in the spreadsheet if you look it up. It's possibly null. Okay. You don't want to let me do the or. Oh, well, that was straightforward. Okay. How are we looking now? Gorgeous. That's what I like to see. I'm not going to submit this because I don't want to actually change my password. But let's get it all cleaned up. And then I'll send it to the kind soul that reported this issue. Again, chat, if you have a feature request or if you find a bug, filing those on the repo is highly appreciated. Thank you so much for doing that. And so this will be fix, pass, reset. Team, thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll follow the page.